Alright, here we are on Feather Climb. I've never actually used this climb before. First impressions, the GUI.
What did I just say? GUI?
The GUI is kinda clean. It definitely looks like heavily inspired off of Lunar Climb, which also looks pretty similar to this. Yeah. Ooh, there's like this little like thumbnail thing for each server, which is kind of interesting. Like Minehut has it, Hoplite has it, Hypixel has it. It's kind of interesting actually. So first impressions, definitely not getting as much FPS as I did on Lunar. Let's check out the mods. Okay, so the button is also right shift. We have all these like mods right here. So I'm gonna get rid of some of the mods I don't really like. You can adjust how big this is. I'm not sure if that's just a feather thing, but you can adjust how big that is. Interesting part. You got custom crosshair, a lunar thing, death info, Discord, which is interesting. Hypixel, item physics. I'll turn on keystrokes just for today. So that's definitely interesting. I'm not really sure what to think of it. Alright, first impressions. I'm definitely not getting as much FPS as I did on Lunar Climb, which is what I'm mainly playing. I'm definitely not getting as much FPS as I did on Lunar Climb, which is interesting because I personally thought they always use like the exact same kind of modulation thing. Also, my sensitivity was really low when I logged onto this. I'm not really sure if that's just like a feather thing or it's just, you know, that, but my sensitivity was also like really low. I think the keystrokes is like really clean though. I'm not gonna lie, the keystrokes are really clean. I think the main part of this is that generally, I'm not getting as much FPS, which is really important because for me at least, I have a lower end PC. I need as much FPS as I can get, and I think Lunar Climb definitely gives me much more FPS than this, which is really important for me. Yeah, so like you can see, I'm getting like around 60 FPS. Meanwhile, on Lunar, I would get like 100. I'm not really sure if there's much else to say on it. I mean, I know Feather went through like a... Oh my god, what is a giant hole there? I know Feather went through like a really big kind of scandal earlier on, like with replay mod or something like that. But I'm not exactly sure how big it was, or if it was honestly even that big. I would say Feather though definitely has a smaller community than Lunar. Lunar does have like one of the biggest fan bases in the entire Minecraft community. Basically everybody uses Lunar. Like, you know, if you don't use Lunar, you know, it's kind of like, what are you doing, right? Alright, GG's. I think it's all very strange, to be honest, because I would personally say that Feather has more like interesting history, if that makes sense, than Lunar. Oh, there's like a different mod that tells you like how many blocks you have of everything. That's kind of cool. Yeah, so like you see here, like it tells me about 125 clay left. Oh, that's kind of cool. The main thing though Feather has over Lunar though is replay mod. So for replay mod, I always have to go on like Fabric, or I have to use in fact Lunar. Like for screenshots where I do. For my thumbnails where I have to use replay mod, I always have to go on either Feather or Forge. Lunar added replay mod for like a little bit, but then they just removed it, and then they just kept on removing it, and then they added it really recently, but then they also just removed it, which is really weird. So Lunar Climb keeps on like adding replay mod and then not adding replay mod. It's very confusing and honestly kind of annoying because I just wish they would add it, or like don't add it and get my hypes up, you know. But yeah, generally I would, if you know, probably in the future, I mean, Feather Climb's nice. If you probably have a higher NPC, I would probably use Feather, but for me, who has a kind of a lower NPC, I'm always going to use Lunar Climb. So yeah.